I've got is a field knife from a company called Hardcore Hardware Australia. Now this company is relatively new. I only found them browsing around the internet and came across their site. And when I saw some of their tools that they sold, I thought, geez, I got to review these, that's for sure. They look like some serious kit. So what I've received just recently in the post is one of their knives. Now this actual field knife, the model number is the MFK02, so that's Mike Foxtrot Kilo 02. It's a very sturdy constructed, heavy duty, serious use knife. What more can I say about that? Just taking a look at it, I'll bring it up to the camera, okay, and just do a slow run by of it, and you can see just how heavy duty this knife really is. Okay, so I'll turn it over and bring it back there so you can take a look at it from there. Okay, well let's jump straight into it and let me talk about some of the features of the knife. Now, it's made from 6mm D2 steel. For those of you who don't know much about D2 steel, it's basically designed for hard use, and it is more stain resistant than most carbon steels. So you can see here, like 6mm thick steel. I mean, it really is a heavy duty knife, as I said. There's no question about that. It feels quite heavy. It's 405 grams in weight. The blade here is 134 millimeters in length, and overall is 265 millimeters in length. Now when you look at it, it's got basically, it's sort of the handle is straight here, but then it starts to come on an angle to a tanto or tainto, depending on how you say it, point at the front of the blade. Now this is great for obviously stabbing, prying, also using it as like a baton. You know, cutting and chopping, you can definitely do that out in the field with it, and by all reports it's supposed to take, you know, that sort of use and abuse quite well. You'll see here it's got 8 serrations on the under part of the blade. Bring that up to the camera. Now these are absolutely razor sharp just to touch, so ideal for, you know, if you need to cut any of your webbing or you know, some cord or rope or something like that, depending on what your application is. You know, it's certainly a hell of a lot of uses for those serrated edges there, so I quite like them. You've got 6 grooves machined into the top of the blade here. Now that's good if you've got gloves on or something and you just want that bit better grip. You've got your grips down the bottom here. Now these grips are G10 grips, and they're actually got Torx screws put in there. So I mean, they're secured extremely well. Now G10 material, basically that's impervious to UV, moisture, liquid, and it's also flame resistant. Okay, so it's actually layers of fiberglass soaked in resin, and then oven baked basically. So just to feel it, it's sort of like a halfway between like a plastic and like a soft steel, honestly, to feel it. It's extremely durable. Now these grips are available in black and coyote, so you've got your choice there. This one I've got here is just the coyote in colour, and the blade itself, you'll see here, has a black Teflon finish to it. So Teflon's really good because obviously it gives the blade more resistance to, you know, rust and things like that, and just gives it a nice look. Anti-glare as well. It's like a matte black finish, the Teflon black. So, you know, those of you from military backgrounds and so forth, you can appreciate the use there. Okay, the finger guard here, it's quite sturdy. Obviously, that's extremely strong, obviously being the D2 steel, but it's just a nice feel to it. It just, if you hold your hand there on the grip, it just gives a nice feel and just pulls up your fingers short of going onto the blade quite nicely there. Now you've got a lanyard hole at the bottom of the knife, and then you've got the glass breaker at the bottom. So these knives that Hardcore Hardware make are really designed and targeted towards like LE guys, you know, law enforcement, and tactical operators like military. So I mean, you could use it for a number of different applications, but obviously I'm going to run through all the features and just give everybody a rundown on all the features of it, not just something that's specific to you know, like a camping or you know, survival tool use. So we'll go into it in detail like we always do with these Ozzie reviews. I try to give you guys as much detail as possible, so hopefully I don't sort of waffle on too long about it. I just like to stick to the key points there, and so that you're not sort of watching the review and then after it wondering more about it and thinking, oh geez, I wish he covered this or he covered that. So okay, enough about that. I'm just basically going to try to give as much info as I can about any product that I review. Okay, so we'll move on to the sheath now. Now this sheath here is available in black, khaki or multicam, so I've just got the khaki one here. So it's fairly heavy duty, it's strong as can be. It's a Cordura or Cordura, depending on how you want to say it, sheath. You can see here it's got the molly platform on it, so you know, great for sticking on like your webbing and so forth like that. And it's got a Kydex insert here, so I'll bring that up to the camera and hopefully you'll be able to make that out. You can see just in there it's fairly hard, so you know, it's fairly flimsy there in the sense of flexible, I should say, not so much flimsy. And then when the Kydex insert, you can feel here, you're flat out bending that, so it's quite sturdy. Now you can see on here you've got double stitching around the sides and further stitching or double stitching on the front part and also on the rear as well and around the sides. So I mean, it's just extremely well constructed. You just got Velcro here just to hold the knife in, so when we put the knife in, it just sits quite firmly there, and you can just Velcro it up from there, and I mean, it holds in, sits quite well there. At the bottom you'll see that the sheath has paracord on it. Now this is not some imitation of crap paracord. It's the real thing. It's the 550 pound, or in the Australian terms, 248 kilo, 7-strand paracord. So I mean, that's as strong as can be. So I mean, paracord's great, you know, especially in like a survival situation. I mean, you use it as tie downs, binding. I mean, you can make all sorts of things with paracord, and everything from just using it as replacement bootlaces to, you know, hanging up food and different items. I mean, there's a multitude of you know, uses for it. So that's pretty much it. When you buy one of these, it comes with a little Hardcore Hardware Australia patch. Okay, just Velcro on the back, and just a rubber patch. That's a nice little addition there. Just comes with the box, nothing too special about that, and everything as I've explained there. Now, Hardcore Hardware, they say on their website that they offer 100% money back guarantee against material failure. So that's provided obviously you don't go too silly and burn, shoot, blow up or throw any of their items around. So you know, that's a pretty good guarantee there, and ultimately you'd expect it for the price, which I'll move on to now. Price for this knife is $199. In my opinion, I really don't think that's too bad of a price for the actual material and the design and the effort that has gone into making this knife. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not just your standard little pocket knife that you're going to use to cut your fishing line with. This is a knife that is designed for hard use in tactical situations, in harsh environments, and by military and LE guys. So, you know, it's if you understand where I'm going with it, it's not an entry-level knife, that's for sure. So I think $199 is quite justifiable when you're looking at the price for the knife. I mean, if you look at some of like the SOG knives, you know, Spyderco, all those different sort of knives, I mean, you're looking up, you know, $300, the high twos, depending on which model you get. So ultimately, I don't think that it's too bad for an Australian company with an Australian-made product to be charging $199 for a knife. So in saying that, as we do, let's get out in the field. I want to put this knife through a few different tests and see how it performs. Okay, so we're going to use the knife here. We've got a block of timber. So we're going to just see how durable and how tough this is. We're going to try to cut through there. Just using another piece of timber here. It's a stick, and we'll see how we go from there. Well, that gets through that just like a hot knife through butter. You can see that too with the thickness of it. Once you start getting down a fair way, you can just pry it and it just splits the timber in two. So I'll try another piece. It's already broken off. So I mean, this would be ideal if you're trying to start a fire or something like that. Depends what situation you're in. As I say, the knife is applicable to many applications, so it just cuts straight through it. That's unreal. Very impressed with the cutting of this. And as you can see on the knife, I mean, there's not a great deal of marks left on there. A little bit on the back there. But in general, you can just see that it really is for, hard use. And when you get it at the right angle, this honestly just cuts straight through. I seem to have hit a hard notch in the tree here, or in the thing, so we'll just try it from this angle, see if we can get through it. Oh, there we go. So as I say, just get it at the right angle and then it just cuts through, and you can just turn and pry it. It just comes straight open. Just hit this last bit here, and I think that'll pretty much be enough to demonstrate the quality of it. So, okay, so there's the blade after we've used it. A couple of marks on it, but you can see how the Teflon there does protect it, that's for sure. Okay, we'll show the serrated edge on there. I've just got a little bit of rope here. I mean, you could find this, just lying around as a piece of junk in the bush, or you could have this, on you in your pack or something like that. So just to cut it, use the serrated edges. We'll just go in, and that just cuts straight through it. As I said on the intro to the video, these serrated edges are absolutely like shark's teeth. They're razor sharp. So if you do get the knife, just watch your hands around that area because it's extremely sharp. Okay, we just got a piece of branch here. What we'll do, just to, I guess the hypothetical situation, so we need to start a fire and you're in a survival situation and you want to just get some filings of some wood. We'll see how the actual blade goes with this. Yeah, that just carves through it, no problem at all. You can see here, these fine filings that you get off there, that you shave off, is what you want if you've got like a fire starter or you're trying to get that fire started in the bush. So this is where the serrated part at the back, not the serrated edge, but just the notches in the back of the blade, that's where they come in handy for the strength when you're doing this sort of thing. You can get your thumb on there and really push down and just get the shavings of wood off that you need. So you're left with a fair amount of good little shavings that you could definitely start a fire with if you needed to. And once again, there's the result of the blade there. You can see there's not much marks left on that Teflon coating. Okay, so we've just got a standard plastic Coke bottle just filled up with some water. So what I'll do is I'll just use the serrated edge here and we'll see if we can cut through the hard plastic at the end there. We'll just see how we go, just for something else to test out. Okay, that's just cut straight through. Okay, so we'll cut through 2 strands at once here. Give that a go. Yeah, it just cuts straight through. I mean, try a bit more if I can fit it if there's enough room. Got 4 strands here. I don't know if I'll have enough to grip onto here. There we go. Okay guys, so there you have it, the MFK02 knife from Hardcore Hardware Australia. What a top knife. It's a heavy duty knife, as you've seen here in the few tests that I've done. I'm certainly glad I've got it. If you want to check out their full line, because they do make a couple other models of knives, and they do also make some tomahawks too. I'll put the link to their website at the bottom of this review so you can check it out. In the meantime guys, feel free to log on and check out my other videos on YouTube. And I've got a Facebook page now too, Ozzie Reviews. Please feel free to leave comments there because I really do enjoy the feedback I've been getting since starting Ozzie Reviews. So once again, thanks very much for watching.